going on, guys? Welcome to another pro analysis series. This one is gonna be another killer match. I was playing as Clown. I remember playing this game. I just thought it would be a good match to make an analysis on, because I think it covers a pretty good important topic as when playing killer, especially when you're playing low tier killers, which is just like the overall like game sense. It's a word I heard in my coaching lately, and I really adopted. It's like just like the game sense, you know, just knowing like what to do and when and why during the game, like how to pressure the survivors essentially. So right here, I think I got a cut on the footage there at the start, but essentially I already know the spawns. They usually spawn opposite to where you are. So for example, if you spawn on the left, they're gonna spawn on the right. You know, and if you have that kind of mentality in the map, usually if not that, they spawn if not like direct opposite, it's kind of a bit diagonally opposite, but it's always opposite, you know. They're never gonna usually spawn where you are. So you see right here, I did a smart play there with the bottle. I threw it where I wanted her, you know. I threw it a loop that was longer there, and then I forced her, by changing the direction, I forced her into the smoke again. So that's how you want to play Clown when you're chasing like that. And you know, she had dead heart there, I believe, but because of the smoke, there's really not much you can do. So here comes again that thing I talked about, the game sense. So that Steve is injured, right? And everyone now thinks that I'm chasing him because I hit him. So right here I'm just pressuring the gens while I'm really just defending her on the hook, because I know there's a lot of people around here, so they're gonna try to save her just like they did right now. In the meantime, I was just really kicking the gens, so make sure they're regressing. That was a miss down on the bottom, hit the tree. Again, the bottom also makes them slow vault if they're affected by the cloud, the smoke. So I knew I could kill the Cheryl right there when she decided to vault that window. So here again is another game sense thing. I cannot grab the Cheryl right now because she might have the S. However, you see again, this is a really good example of how to use the bottle. You see, I also hided my red staying there for a little bit before making that final turn there, and that made her think I was actually coming from the other side when I really wasn't. Right there was a slight miss, but yeah, but it's like I was saying about the game sense. So she's on the floor, she might have the S, so that gives me, while I'm waiting for her the S, I don't have to like stay there just watching her on the floor. I can pressure the other survivors out of the gens and everything. Like right now, dude, they're so pressured, like everyone is injured. That Cheryl was on the floor. I think she got healed. But then you also have this. I think it was Yui. Yui's on the floor as well. So it's like they're constantly pressured to do something outside of the gens. You know, heal each other, heal themselves. So that's what I mean by like applying game sense. So again here, I just noticed that she got healed. That means I lost all my pressure. So I need to down someone here quickly. And my focus here is really the Cheryl. It's not much the Yui because the Cheryl has already been hooked. So I really want to eliminate someone as quickly as possible here. And by now her DS is gone. So again, this is another game sense. I could just pick her up, and nothing would really happen out of that. But I can just come here and pressure the Yui. Right there was also a smart play. I just waited for her dead heart, because regardless, if I try to swing there, she would have dead heart. I would miss, and then she would be able to drop the pellet. But by waiting, regardless if she uses the dead heart or not, I can still get my hit. You know, because she doesn't have that distance. You can also react to the dead heart, like you can see it happening, and you swing towards the middle, towards the end of the dead heart, and it will still hit them regardless, even if they do reach the pallet, you know, because they can't finish the full animation of dropping the pallet if you time it right. So again, I noticed she was on the, you see I slugged the Yui as well, and I came back to my main focus, which was the this Cheryl right here. She's affected by BT here, so again, she's injured, so I'm gonna go after her. She's my main focus right now. Anything else is really just pressuring the others. So until this Cheryl dies, is mainly just holding the others off the gens as much as I can until she's dead. Because she's the one that's close to death, so I want to focus on her because I want to eliminate someone right away, which is gonna make really easy to 4K after if they have one less person on the team. Again here, there's nowhere she can go, so I know I have the time to kick that gen, so that's why I did that. Usually it's not that good of an idea if you kick a gen during a chase. However, because she's on a corner like that, I know she has nowhere to go, and she was already moving towards the corner when I started kicking the gen, so I knew I had time enough to do that. So again, I noticed my main target got healed. That means I need to go back immediately there, so I do not want to lose sight of the Cheryl here. Right there was a bit of a prediction as well. You see, I didn't follow her straight. I kind of went into the house, because that way if she turned it inside like she did, I would be able to cut her off. And if she also did not turn inside the house, I would still keep following her straight. You know, I would eventually catch up. So it was kind of a way to, you know, fix for both possibilities there with a single play, so to speak. So again, I have time to kick the gen. I don't have to pick her immediately. She's not gonna get healed anytime soon, so I don't have to pick her immediately. If I have a chance, I can apply more pressure before picking her up. In this case, I noticed that was a gen right there, so I just kicked it. So now it's regressing. I don't have to worry. I don't have to kick that gen again now before as soon as I leave her after killing her. Her DS is gone by now as well because I waited earlier when slugging her, so I don't have to worry about that either. And now she's dead, and the same heavy pressure again. It's like 4 gens. They're all injured. They're either healing or they're doing gens injured, which is usually not that good of an idea. You see right here. Now she has no pallet or anything. Now that looks quite interesting here that they were trying. The Steve was going for that hard there. I was quite surprised actually. But I mean, no point in that. So by throwing the, you see, you can always throw bottles through the windows. That's something I don't see a lot of clowns doing. But that kills most of the strong loops like that have windows and everything. This map is just so safe. There's like pallets every, I don't know, 16 meters. They are safe from each other, so that makes it kind of tough. But this area overall is already dead, almost a full dead zone. There's only like these 2 pallets here left on this side of the map, pretty much. So it's a good idea to chase her here. So again, I'm gonna throw the bottle and force her into it by changing direction here. You see, that was another way of throwing the bottle through the window. Unfortunately, this loop is like super safe, so even with the bottle, it's quite hard to down her here. It's because of how safe the thing is. That was a good vault. That was actually a pretty good vault on her part. Because if she tried to run around and not vaulting, the smoke would slow her enough that I would have been able to reach her. So that was a very good vault there. I wasn't quite expecting it, but if I could react a little earlier, I would have been able to down her as well. Again, right here, it may seem like they're getting the gens done, but they're really just killing themselves here by doing this. They're putting themselves in a position that's not really good. So you see, they did a gen co-op and they also didn't heal. So look how much pressure I got from that. And also notice that I left the Yui to come from this gen. That's also something about game sense that I keep telling you. You gotta know what the other survivors are doing. You can't just be single-minded, focused on the person you're chasing. You gotta think about the whole picture of the match. And in this case, the whole picture was that I noticed when I was chasing her that they didn't heal. I noticed already since the beginning of the game that these guys are doing gens without healing. So that's something I can come to expect when I'm playing this game. So I'm using all of that to make my decisions here. And the fact that they had already been working on that gen before, since they started the game, tells me that it's very likely that they're going to go back to work on that gen. So I just joined it all, I just mixed all those informations together. And I can make the decision that if I left the Yui right at that moment, those 2 guys, or at least one of them, would probably be working on that gen that I came up to check. And my guess was right. But it's really just like game sense, you know, based on the moment of the game and based on things you're noticing about their playstyle during the match, you just kind of join all that and make your decisions. This Yui kind of gave up, I think, here. You see, I threw a bottle there over the little tree. It was really good as well. And just like that, they're dead. You know, it may seem like they're rushing the gens, but if they're putting themselves in a bad position, you can take advantage of that, you know, even though you're losing a gen. Because it really doesn't matter that I lost, like, what, 2 gens in those, like, last minute? Because I still got the 3 downs, you know? So they're all slugs, so it's pretty much game. Is it really worth losing the game for 2 gens? You know what I mean? So some people just kind of panic when the gens start popping, but you gotta look at the overall position that you have. And the position they're putting yourselves in. Usually losing a gen for, you know, gaining the entire game is really not that bad. She might have DS here. I'm aware she has DS. However, I'm picking her anyway because I don't really care. I mean, they're not going to come back from this. So I might as well just get over with this. So that's why I picked the DS there. She's probably going to try to heal someone there maybe, which is I was already expecting when I grabbed her. But because she was really far from the hook, you know, not that big of a deal. You see, I can see he's going inside the house there. So I know where to look. Right here, I was also expecting her to do the dead hard there already. Because, I mean, she wouldn't be dumb enough to just try to pull him while injured. So I was already expecting her to try to dead hard at that point. So I just waited and I baited her out. So again, I noticed he came running inside the house. So he must be somewhere around here. Or he's going to be kind of like this and try to be kamikaze, like I like to call. And just try a very risky play to be altruistic, which is going in, like with me right next to the hook, going injured towards it to try to save them. Super risky play, so I kind of checked for that possibility, and it ended up that it was what he actually tried to do. So and just looked at his game again. So like I said, I mean, I took the DS because it really wouldn't matter. I knew I could make it happen like I did here after it. But if you, I don't know, best play there I guess would be really just to wait the DS out, and I wouldn't have to worry about any possible comeback. And yeah, this is a really good example of like game sense, like because a lot of people things Killer do is like they just focus on one survivor. They don't know when to leave the chase. They don't have this like game sense around understanding what the other survivors are doing, like during the whole process of, like knowing what the survivors are doing without actually watching them do it, you know. Right here, this guy, I believe he watches my stream and everything. He's a follower, so he's a friend of mine, so I'm gonna let him go here. But I mean, this was an easy 4K for the most part. And this is something as well that a lot of like the Death Squad survivors, they like to do this. They don't really heal to do the gens. That's something you can actually use against them if you do those kind of plays that I showed earlier when I left the Yui to go for the gen, because you get them by surprise. You know, they're not expecting you to go to the gen. That's why they're healing while injured, out of nowhere like that. So by going out of nowhere and getting them to surprise doing the gen without healing, you pretty much get a free down, because they're like in the middle of the gen is dead zone without healing, and they just like, you know, working the gen. It's like a free kill essentially. So that's something you can do to counter these people that really don't heal when doing gens. It's just knowing when to surprise them and punish them for actually not healing. So I guess that's the video. I'm pretty sure there's more I could cover, but you know, that's more, I do that more in my coaching where I go really in depth. This is really, I'm just gonna cover as much as I can with the time I have here in the video. But yeah, guys, that's the video, and I'll take care of you guys in the next one. I hope you guys could learn something new here or just change your mindset a little bit.